Georgia weather is going on. Sunday, October 29th, I hosted a brunch for about 30 people. It was a beautiful day, 85 degrees. 3 days later, there was a freeze warning. It was forecasted for the temperatures to drop to 30 degrees. I went on Instagram telling people to check their outdoor water source, turn it off. Someone says, oh no, not 30 degrees, I'm not worried about it. In my neighborhood, people's pipes burst. That's very expensive. Very expensive. So, needless to say, I have a lot of cleanup to do because I also did not cover all of my garden beds. Yeah. So, I'm going to give you guys a little tour while I clean up, and we're going to harvest up some potatoes, some turmeric, some ginger. So, stick around. I got my hat, and we're about to go do some cleanup. So let's get started. Hey guys, I had to get me some new black boots, and I don't really, they're okay. They're very comfortable, but I don't like them as much as I do these boots by High C or these. And the reason being, these boots, if you notice, you can't get gravel stuck in the bottom of these boots. I never get gravel stuck in the bottom of them because they're pretty flat on the bottom, as opposed to this boot that has all of these grooves here and gravel gets stuck in there. And you can feel the gravel when the rocks are in there. You can feel it at the bottom of your feet. So I need to find some black boots that are flat on the bottom. So if y'all are a company and you got a recommendation for some good black boots that don't have grooves on the bottom, let me know. This poor key lime tree, and it has limes on it. Look at here. There's 2 there, and there are 2 more here. I need to repot this thing. Look what I have this stuck in. It's in a lantern, and the pot is in a lantern. I have to find a good pot. I think I have one in the shed, and I forgot all about it, y'all. And I need to pot it up. But it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there with me. And my beautiful Birds of Paradise. It's done so well. It's like 3 times the size that it was when I first got it. And I've had it for about 1.5 years now. So it's doing pretty good. These plants here have overgrown. Look at this. I got them all. I had to get it off the floor. So I need to take off all these dead leaves and really overwinter. I'm going to cut this back, but I don't want to do it right now. I think I'm going to cut it back during the spring because it's just gotten to be too long. And I may even propagate. These propagate so well. So I may propagate it and give to friends or family members and what have you. So, but I'm going to wait till the spring to cut it back. I'm just going to, not today, but I'm going to take off all of the dead leaves. And during the spring, early spring, probably the end of February, I'm going to cut it back. So guys, the peas really outdid themselves. There's still some peas on the other side of the fence. I harvested I'd probably say a good 2 pounds of peas off of just these. There's probably 7 plants. There's one here. I'm going to use all of these pea pods that are left. I'm going to probably collect the peas and let them dry out and use them for seed. So yeah, I think these would be great to use for seeds. So I'll start collecting some of these seeds and save them for spring. You want to try one?
Sure.
How's it taste?
Good.
It tastes good?
Yeah.
He loves peas. Peas and what? Beans? And beans?
Yeah, and beans.
And beans. It's such a nice day out today. It's not hot, it's not warm, but it's just like a neutral temperature. It must be about 70 degrees. I think it's probably about 70, high 60s, 70. So it's nice and it's not windy. So it's a beautiful day to be in the garden. So guys, in the bed with the peas, it's a mishmash of collard greens. You got some collard greens, mustard greens, cabbage, kale, broccoli. And I did this intentionally because I've had a couple of little friends come to eat all of my plants. So here you'll see, this was the potato plant. I will pop in a video of the potato plant, what it looked like before the frost, literally the day before the frost. And over here we have some makeshift cloaks covering some kale. That one, take that leaf off of there. But we have some kale on this side and some cabbage over here. And they have survived the freeze. I had the frost cloth over them with hoops. And the borage is beautiful. The borage survived the freeze. So that's good to know. This is my first year really growing borage. And if you're not familiar with borage, it is great to deter pests, the bad pests, like aphids, from your garden. Let me show you the flowers. So this is a borage flower. I'm going to take one off. So it's like this bluish flower. And it tastes like cucumber. So over here we have bee balm. And I need to cut that all back. That's died off. It's gone dormant. The ginger needs to be harvested. This is ginger here. I need to harvest that out. Another bag of potatoes growing, as well as there's another bag over there, potatoes growing. I need to see if they are ready to harvest. Over here we have mustard greens that seem to have survived. Here's a huge bed of lemon balm and mint that I grow in this particular bed. And here's some Mexican heather as well down here. Holding on, trying to hold on. So all the evergreens seem to be doing well. There's a little brown spot here that I may need to clip on this. Surprisingly, look at these petunias. Petunias are still, I have some petunias still alive. Look at that. Topiaries are doing good. Topiaries are doing pretty good. The thing with your topiaries, want to turn them every now and then so that this backside doesn't become bald. It needs some sun as well. Alright, you got an antsy child out here, and he is ready to chop up his pumpkins. This is his favorite thing to do, is chop up stuff. So if I need something chopped up in the compost, right, AJ?
Yeah.
That's your favorite thing?
Yes.
All right. So grab a few of your pumpkins and bring them on over here. So we're not going to do it right there. We're going to put them over here. This is where, in this row here, I had peanuts planted. And so we're going to put them over here. Bring them on over. Bring some over here. We're going to do it all the way down. Pull that back. And then you're going to, when we finish chopping, then you're going to just dig a hole and stick them down in there. So you can chop them there. Oh, look at the seeds. Okay, good. It's loaded with seeds. That tiny little thing is loaded with seeds. Just be careful. It's a great way to let your kid get out some aggression. Be careful of your head. Well, I'm so happy to see that this jasmine is still alive because the other one died in the frost. Oh, I'm so happy that it's still alive. Okay, we had to keep a child safe. Still, even though you don't... So I made him switch out to his little hoe. He likes to use the little ones. He's been using these since he was 3 years old. And he's 12 now. About to turn 13. He doesn't like to use the big one. He said it's too heavy. But the other one had spikes on it, and I was scared he would poke himself. Okay, so we're going to let him finish chopping, but we're going to keep an eye on him. So guys, right here next to where AJ is, these are the asparagus. I need to cut back the asparagus, and they will regrow in the spring. I convinced him to use the large hoe, and it's working great. Away from your head. You see that? Here I did a succession planting of carrots. So they should be ready in the spring, if not before. Here we have onions and garlic planted in the front. We have some new garlic. October, November is a good time to plant garlic. Okra has died off pretty much. The okra that's still there, I'm going to use the seeds in the spring. My arugula is going to seed. Look, it's got a flower on it. It's about to go to seed. This arugula was so good, y'all. So good. Y'all, arugula. If you don't plant any other green, I know kale, we talk about kale, spinach, but arugula, peppery, so good. Oh my God, the perfect salad green. And it can go down to temperatures 6 degrees Fahrenheit. It grows, it loves cold weather. It's part of the brassica. It's part of the brassica family, like broccoli and kale. It's part of the kale family. But it has the beautiful peppery flavor. So good. Oh my God. Peppery, nutty. It's like a wonderful winter, fall salad. Oh my God. Put you some beautiful cherry tomatoes and some feta cheese. Drizzle a little olive oil and balsamic vinegar. So good. I'm going to harvest some more of this today and have this with, I'm having this for dinner. Now, arugula is also extremely beneficial for you. Gut health, liver health is so good. So good. It has potassium, vitamin A, C, K. It's just so good for you. Look at the leaves on these blueberry bushes. I love when they turn this bright red color. So gorgeous. just over this fence, you can probably see those red leaves. That's another blueberry bush, and it's a wild one. We have about 4 or 5 wild blueberry bushes in the woods, and my husband loves to go out there and collect them and eat them. This nasturtium is, and it's on its last leg. Okay, you gonna chop up the big one?
Yep.
All right, go.
That's a big cut. Or
Careful. Okay guys, we are done with the pumpkins, and I am now covering them up with the pine straw and leaving them to rest for winter, and we're going to peel this back in the spring and see if we get any pumpkins sprouting up. So if you guys follow me, you know that we had a lot of stuff growing in one of the compost bins this past spring, and I asked folks, what should I do? And they're like, let's let it grow and let's see what we get. Well, we got a ton of tomatoes. I'm gonna cut it back. There are tons of tomatoes still on here, and they're still good. So guys, this is the sweet potato patch. We've harvested the sweet potatoes already, but I cover it and just let it rest for planting for the next season. So I will let these okra dry out and see if I can extract the seeds and bag the seeds up, keep them until spring, and we can plant some okra. Guys, I'm going to do the same thing with these marigolds. So this is a marigold plant that's gone dormant and or died out, but you can save the seeds. So down in here, those are the seeds. If you notice here, when I cut the okra down, I didn't pull it out of the soil. I just cut it down and leave the roots in, and it helps to continue to build microbiomes in your soil. So it keeps your soil good during the winter. The sage seems to be doing pretty good right now, but it will probably die out. So I may dig it up and plant it in a pot and bring it inside. It's unfortunate, but it looks like these did not have enough time to grow before the frost hit. But I think AJ will still eat these. Oh, here's a few. Wait, we got a few. Look, guys. Oh my God, we got a few. So I'm going to check the other bags as well to see if we can at least get him a few for dinner. All right. No, we got more. All right. Ooh. So I guess we did do okay. Did all right. And guys, these are supposed to be small. These are nibbles. So these are nibble potatoes. They're like little baby Yukon Gold. These are the ones that AJ, he loves. So this is the root plant. This is what we planted. So you can see it's around the same size. This is the one that we planted, and they came from this one. Alright guys, look how many I got out of this one bag. That's a pretty good. I was discouraged and I was like, wait a minute. We got something here. And this is the size. This is a large one. This is a pretty large one. And that's even when if you buy them in the store, you will see that this is a good large size. And you will get them all the way down to this little size. And he loves them. So these I don't have to split. This size I usually will probably split them in half. And I drizzle a little either olive oil, grapeseed oil, and then I top it, once they're done, I top it with a little bit of truffle oil, and he loves it. So good. Alright, we still have 2 more bags. Another bag over here. Alright, so I just went live on Instagram, and I'll put the link to that video in the description box. So if you wanted to see me harvesting the rest of the potatoes. So I harvested up all the potatoes, and look what else I harvested. Now look at the nasturtium. It is huge, and it's still growing. It's also growing all the way back behind this bed. See it peeking out? It's growing out. It's growing everywhere. But this bed needs cleaning up, so I'm going to cut down some of the vines, the basil, some of the things that have died off during the frost. We got a huge bok choy. Not huge, but it's a good sized bok choy growing right here. Probably going to harvest that out next week or in a couple days and go ahead and eat that. Yeah, some broccoli still growing. Marigolds. I cut down all that. I cut down all of the basil, but I may use a few of these little baby leaves to make some salad dressing. Yeah, peas still growing over here. Got peas growing. So I'm going to leave these here, let them continue to grow. We have some cabbage. More marigolds, some mums, and this guy is just growing everywhere. Look at it, it's all back here. We have some greens growing. So yeah, it's just a mishmash of all kinds of stuff. And then we still have these 2 lemongrass are still thriving. So I'm going to leave them. But I'm going to harvest up some of it. I like to use it in soups during the winter. And tea, of course. Alright guys, so I want to show you the hydrangeas. So this is what they look like right now. They're all dried out. I do use some of them in this beautiful like amber like color. They're just gorgeous in this color. So I take out a few of the best ones and then I'll shake them out, for bugs and use them as a centerpiece for Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm going to do. Then I don't prune mine until early spring when I see the buds beginning. That way I know exactly where to cut them. But you can tell that I've already harvested out a few here for uh, for a centerpiece that I did previously. I've harvested some out back before they turned colors. So in early fall they turn a beautiful pink color. So in the spring they're green, then they turn white, and then in the fall they turn pink before they turn brown. So this is the state that they are now, and they will just go dormant until early spring. And here in Georgia, I'm in the zone 8A, they will stay this way until usually around my son's birthday. So his birthday is the end of February, so that's kind of my indication that they will start to bud and that it's time to prune them. And I just like them during the winter because they give some interest. I put this rope up if you're wondering what this is. Let me show you. So I really need to clean because we got this so dirty here. I need to power wash this area, but I won't do that until late spring because there's no point, and then all the pollen's going to come in the spring. But right here, this is a T-pole, and it's used for fencing. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, or your local feed store, because they use it to keep cattle in a lot of times. So that's what it's originally used for, and for fences. So I just drove, we drove those in with they have a driver, a T-pole driver, and we drive that in. And then I just put some string here. And it was because, look at these blooms. They're huge. And when they get wet, they're heavy. And this isn't even the largest of them. Some of them get as big as your head. And they get very heavy. Then they lean forward. So it was just really to give them some support. So when they are smaller, I can use these floral supports. But then as they get this big, this doesn't work. This doesn't work anymore. And I need more support. So if on my dwarf, I have some that are dwarf. They're the little limes. These work really good on the little limes, but not on these big guys. So they need a little more support. Okay, it is time to cut back these hostas as well. They will come back in the spring, so don't worry. And usually they'll just die off. The leaves will die off and fall off anyway. So may as well just go ahead and cut it off and discard it. So guys, here is one of my edible fall planters. You have lemon thyme spilling down the sides. Surprisingly, we have petunias still. And we have pansies. Look at the color. Stunning. Then over here in the gravel, we have violas that have propagated themselves. They're like little runners. So just know that if you plant violas, they are invasive. They are beautiful, but they are invasive. And you can pull them out of the ground wherever they pop up at. But I will leave them because they're happy there. We got some leaves, but they're happy where they are.